Hi y'all, it's me. I was doing some crafting today and I thought, I should just turn on my camera and do a craft with me kind of sort of so you can, I could share with you what I'm doing and show you how to do it and without having to redo everything. So I kind of cleared up my area here so that I could kind of start from the top and then show you how and whatever I've done and tips and stuff like that. So right now, everybody seems to be enjoying these wax seals, and you can make these, of course. I think Maggie Holmes had some in one of her collections, but anyhow, everybody's like kind of into them right now. So I thought, well, you know what, let me just show what I'm doing. So this is like a stamp that you need to make the impression into the wax, and there's tons of videos that show how to do that. You use little wax beads like these you melt them over a candle and a spoon, and then you pour it and then you stamp into it. Uh, that's okay. It's great. They're beautiful. I love them. But I just wasn't crazy about the fact that when you make them, I mean, they're so pretty. You spend the money to buy the wax and the other equipment you need, and then you put it in a project, and over time, these they don't fare well. They can tear, they can crack. You see how that's going? That's not a good thing. So I thought about trying to do this another way and using hot glue gun. And I'm really loving the way that they turned out. So I'm going to show you some of the ones that I have already done, show you how to do it, and then explain to you a few things about them along the way. So this is a batch of gold ones that I put together. I think they're super pretty, and I'll show you something else about that in just a moment, but let me show you the rest of the ones that I've done. I'm going to explain some differences and things that you might want to know. Here's some silver ones. Very pretty. And then these are painted, and I'll go over how I did everything. There's different things, so I want to make sure to tell you all how I did everything. So there's those. And then, so basically that's the ones that I've done. I have a few more samples off to the side, but I'll show you those in a minute. So yes, you could buy glue sticks that are glittery or colored and use those. The problem you have with using that is that you have to flush out your glue gun between colors, which that can be a waste and a pain in the butt trying to flush out the previous color out of your glue gun. So I have another way of doing this, and I'm going to just show you what I do and how I do it. So the first thing you're going to need to do this is a glue gun. Now I have the fine tip, which uses the thin glue sticks, but for this one I highly recommend using one that uses the regular fat glue sticks, because you do use a lot of glue and you want to have not problem of trying to change in the middle and add a stick and all of that. So it's best to use the full-size glue sticks with the full-size glue. Well, these are my little ones. Oops, sorry. You can get them in, hold on, that's the wrong kind. You can get them in bulk packs like this, and again, they're just the regular sized glue sticks. I try to find clear if you can, which I know Walmart has clear, and then they also come in the longer version if you want to buy longer ones. So that's the main thing you need. The next thing you're going to need is some kind of a silicone mat, and I prefer one that's clear. Well, this isn't clear, it's really old. I've had it forever, but it's the one I can see through, so this is the one I've been using. This will help tremendously in the creation of your wax seals. Also, I went online and I printed this template out. It's a 1.2-inch circle, and that's about the right size that I like to make these here. That's about the size that I think is a good size for me. You might like something different, and if I can remember, I'll put the link to this template down below. So anyhow, you're basically going to lay this over, and you see why I say the clear one is important, because you can see your template through it. So it doesn't have to be precise, you just want to be able to see through it. So I tried it on glass, and they don't peel off glass as easily as they do the silicone. On the glass, when I pulled it up, it seemed to stretch out the wax seal shape. So I didn't care for that too much. So anyhow, the only thing you need to do is you need to grab your stamp that you want to use. So I'm going to choose this one here. And then you're simply going to get your glue. Now I'm working off to the side, so bear with me. I don't know how accurate this will be, but you'll get the idea. So what you need to do is you're going to put this into your circle. The best tip I can give you is when you're squeezing the glue out, leave the tip of the glue gun in the glue. That helps to avoid air bubbles and that kind of thing. Although my technique, you can't see through them anyway, so it really doesn't matter, but it just helps to reduce bubbles. Now you're going to start squeezing your glue into the little thing there, and you're not going to fill this section up with glue. You're just going to fill it up so that you have a border. You're going to swirl it off so that you let it level, and then you're going to go ahead and get your stamp, and you're going to position it. Now I'm going to try to do this. It's probably going to be crooked, but you try to position it over that hot glue and then smush it down, and you could see that my glue went to the line on the outside, which is about the size I want. So that's why I suggest to not fill this circle up with the glue, because it'll be huge. So now you're just going to let that sit there, and while that's sitting there for a few minutes, it doesn't take long. You can put a whole bunch down if you have a bunch of stamps and do them all at one time, and they take such little time to dry. But in the interim, I'm going to talk to you about a couple of other things. So in order to paint the gold and the silver ones, I used spray paint. I took them outside. When they were done, I just sprayed them over, and it was fast. These two worked really well on the glue. It adhered perfectly. I tried it again with this color here, that blue color you see, and I used another spray paint, and all of these spray paints say made for plastic, so I assumed they would work. This one is this, and that's the result, and I'm not that crazy about this finish. I'm not liking it as much. I did try this one on something else, and it didn't work so well. So you have to test out your spray paints if that's the route you're going to go. Now, I forgot to mention earlier, the reason that I chose to do it this way is that these are indestructible. They are not going to ruin over time. You can bend them, you can whatever, twist them, and they're not going to ruin. You're going to have the same nice seal that you had to begin with, unlike the yellow one I showed you earlier that cracked in half. This thing right here, and that will happen on all wax seals. They do crack. So the other thing I wanted to show you is a different kind of paint that I used, and I have some samples right here. And basically, when that's done, all I do is I take the plain wax seal like this, and I use glue dots right here, just some cheap glue dots. I take one and cut it in half and wad it up in my hand, and I press it on to my surface. This holds this while you're painting it, so it's not scooting all over the place. I think that's such a time saver, so you're going to want to do that. What I discovered is I really love the shimmer paints on these best. That's the one that I seem to like the best. They give a really nice look. As you can see there, these are dry already. I just finished painting them. But it gives a nice sheen to it, and they just look really pretty to me. The opaque ones, which is this one, I'm not really keen on how that looks. If you see it in person, it doesn't look that great. The way the paint is, it kind of shows the streaks and stuff. So if I were to paint any more by hand, I would definitely look for shimmer styled paints. These were from Target. So anyhow, that's a tip I wanted to share with you. The other tip I wanted to share with you is that another thing you can do with your wax seals is you can take one of these gold paint pens or silver or any color that you have. You get your seal, whatever seal you want to use. In this case, I've already done one. I just want to give you that idea. But look at how cute is this. And this was done by simply taking this and brushing over the raised element of this particular wax seal, and I think they look amazing. So that's another way you can do it. So you have spray paint, you have regular paint, you know, you can use matte, but I prefer shimmer, and this is the right way to do it. It's so easy. So let's go ahead and pick that up. Now see how easily I lifted that off the mat, and then you just tear it apart from there, and there you can see my seal. So these are not going to have a perfect edge. As you can see there, this one does not. It all depends on how you drop this stamp down into your wax or glue. I don't mind that because that's how wax seals are anyway. They're not perfect, and they shouldn't look perfect in my opinion. So basically that's how you do it. Now I want to show you one other thing that I tried out while I'm here, you know, doing all of this. I thought, you know, I have molds. I have molds, and I want to try and see if I can use my molds to create stuff. I also have a mold, and I'm going to share it with you. This is one that I made myself. This is an item that I had in my stash, and they sell a product called Amazing Mold Putty. It comes with 2 tubes, and you mix the 2 together. You press your whatever you want into it, and it can make a mold so that you'll always have it if it's something that you love. So this is a really nice product to play with. We've been doing this crafters years ago. It seems like it's making a comeback again, so I just thought I'd pull mine out and share. So you can make your own, or you can buy the store-bought, which is of course much easier. This came from the one that I made my own, but again, this was done with some paper clay, and I really didn't like the outcome, but you can see that the image comes out perfect. So I was really happy with that. But anyhow, back to these. I decided to try to make this bow, and I'll show you. And I did this with hot glue. I squirted the hot glue the same way I did there, only I did it here, and I waited until this got level. When you're kind of done filling it with glue, you just want to tap it a little like that so that the glue can settle. And that's what I made with this. And they're very lightweight, which is another nice thing. These would make a great addition to your craft projects. I did one with this one, and this is a rose, and it's done with the glue stick. And this one, what I did was I took it outside, I spray painted the whole thing that light pink color, and I said it didn't work that well, so I ended up bringing it in and brushing it with this shimmer one on the top just to give it some other color, and then I did the leaves with that green color. And so now I have this cute little rose embellishment I can use on my projects. These were just done and spray painted. I'm just showing this one to you for a reason. This particular mold, I think they use them for jewelry making. They have these tiny little things there so it will make holes so you can dangle it from a charm or something. So that's another idea. Use these on your charms. But I did one, and the hole really does come out. Look, see, the hole really came out. It really goes through. It doesn't fill up with glue, so that's like super perfect. So that was done with that one. And then I tried this one and sprayed it with gold, and that came out like this, which I think is super adorable because you can add a picture in there. You can, you know, make it a glossy accent on top and make it a little charm dangle. It's so cute. So I did that. And then the last one that I tried was a swan, because I have this big, beautiful swan, and I just filled it up with glue. It didn't take that long to dry, and then I took it out and spray painted it. I think it's just adorable. So you can see there's the glue, and I did make one just so you could see how it comes out when it's not painted. So anyhow, so those are all the tips that I've learned along the way. I'm going to go back to crafting. If you do use the paint, the shimmer, know that you have to do a few coats on it. It doesn't cover first coat. However, the spray paint does. It covers immediately. So try out your paints first to make sure that you know if they're going to work on what surface you're trying to put them on, which is the glue, without having it beat up or look funny. So anyhow, that is my little craft with me. Quick one. I just wanted to give you all my tips and ideas that I've learned along the way, and I'm going to continue playing. I hope you'll try this out. Let me know if you do, because I'd love to see. Have a great day, and until next time, do what makes you happy. Bye for now.